Hello and welcome to Hub City Now. I'm your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr. Today we have another great show for you. Today we have Phantom with us. Phantom is a rapper and producer. He is a barber by day and an artist musician by night. He is very active in his community in
Correct.
Clarksville, Tennessee, and he looks to continue to inspire and motivate the youth and others with his many talents. Thank you for joining us today, Phantom.
Man, thank you.
So, Phantom, tell us about yourself. Tell us who you are, where you're from,
All
and
right.
how you got into music.
Oh, okay. So let me take you back to we'll go to like '97.
Okay.
Some friends of mine, they had a music group, and I had checked them out or whatever, and they were doing pretty good.
Hmm.
But I had another set of friends on another side of town. They were doing music also, so it started out with them, and things didn't work with my first set of friends.
Right.
So my first set of friends, they came out with a CD called Grip,
Hmm.
and the other set of friends, they came out with a group called Scandalous. And so their producer heard about me.
Hmm.
I went. He wanted me to go against his two rappers to see if I was pretty good or whatever. So I went over there. I performed for him, and he was like, "Man, you can hold your own against my guys."
Right.
So we hooked up, and we ended up doing two songs together.
Hmm.
And the actual two songs that we did together were hits, and we got them put on the radio. And soon after, believe it or not, this is my first time ever performing or doing studio work.
Right.
Our first opening show was with Missy Elliott in
Wow.
1997. Seriously, 1997, Morehouse College on Halloween. Our
Wow.
first show. Think about that.
That's crazy.
Think about that. First show
Wow.
was
How did that
crazy,
make
man.
you feel? How did that make you feel?
Man, I was so excited because you got to think, man, like these are people that we idolize. You know what I mean? And it's
Hmm.
like my first try, and I'm like, it fell together. Like it just
Right.
came together. It was crazy because we knew someone that knew of our music,
Hmm.
and he really liked our music. So he presented the music to the people that were throwing the show,
Right.
and they liked it. So they were like, "Bring them on."
Right.
And when we got the news, we were like, "Missy Elliott, are you serious? Super duper fly? Are you
Right.
serious?"
Right. Right.
And from that point on, man, like, dude, I mean, I never stopped because I'm like, man, sky's the limit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I
That's
mean, I'm
right.
just a everyday guy. You know, tried out for this group. Just I only did like two features with them,
Hmm.
and they were the hits.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of surreal. You know what I mean? And we actually had to take some people from the city because you know how people are. They're like, yeah, right, Missy
Right.
Elliott,
Right.
sure.
Right.
And when they got there, the funny thing was you had to see the expression on their faces because you know how people doubt you.
Right.
So when we get there and we're in the VIP, and I was like, well, y'all not talking, quiet, man. You could hear pins drop
Hmm.
because they couldn't believe it either. I mean, we were just like, wow, it was amazing
Right. That's so cool.
though. So
That's so cool.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Phantom, take us back to you as a young child. Do you want? You don't have to give your real name, but you can.
yeah.
Tell us about what got you into the music game.
I
What
was really, I
awakened your
didn't.
love for music?
Well, just I've always I got music. I'm gonna say probably through my pops and
Uh-huh.
my uncles. It was kind of a fusion. So I had an
Okay.
uncle, God bless his soul, he just passed away.
Sorry to hear
He
that.
introduced me to funk music.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? All he would do is listen to funk. And I like the beats of it. You know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
he would take me around him, and I would just listen to the beats and the way they sang and the way the music is broke down. And I got kind of interested in like listening to it. And my
Right.
father, he plays the bass guitar.
Okay.
He used to be in music. And so music has always been around me, but I
Right.
didn't know I had an actual love for it. But it would excite me. So I would always dance and just, I just loved it. And
Right.
later, writing poetry, and it was a friend of mine in school. Man, we call him Big Chris,
Hmm.
and he introduced me to the hip hop aspect of things. Because I
Okay.
mostly just listened to through my uncles and my father. All I heard was like Rick James and all that,
Right. Right.
Neo, and what I'm saying. But my friend, he introduced me to hip hop. What I'm saying, he come from New York, so, that's like the hip hop mecca.
Right.
And he was the first guy I remember that would walk around school. He's 6'8", mind you. And he's rapping and walking down the hallway. So we like, wow,
Right.
and do the music, and then he's rapping. I'm like, man, it's basically the same thing.
Right.
And so he kind of inspired me. So I always tell people about him because he's really the one that inspired me to start, rapping or whatever. But
Right.
as far as music, I've always been around it. My
Mhm.
family loves music, and I think that's just what inspired me to do it. It's just always been in me. I didn't know it, and the people around me brought it out of me.
Right. 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 I know you're pursuing a career. You are while you're working as a musician, as you are doing your music, you're also a barber. A lot of people say, "I'm going to chase my dream, and I'm just going to just do it and not worry about a 9 to 5 or whatever." But you're doing that. You
Right.
you're still a barber. Um, what's the importance of keeping that day job and also still being the artist known as
Oh,
Phantom?
that's too simple. That's too simple. When I got into barbering, it was real simple. Like when I was young, like I said, I was always curious about a lot of different things. I never just put my hand in one pot. You know what I mean?
Right,
So I tried a lot of different things. I tried retail. I tried selling candy. I tried everything.
right,
But the due to me coming up, I grew up kind of poor. You know what I'm saying? We grew up in the projects and everything, and so wanting to get out of the projects and going through what I went through,
mhm,
I just wanted to inspire people and show them that you can be something,
right,
but you have to put your mind to it and put forth the effort. And so, so when I started barbering, because at that time, barbering for a young man, it was mostly older barbers. So, I
right,
was one of the youngest barbers that came in, and I was around a bunch of older people, and they taught me a lot. But it showed me how you can inspire people through your words, through your kindness, through your just listening to them. You know what I mean?
right, mhm,
So I got in the barbering game really to just inspire people to show them that you can do something if you believe in yourself. So I
right,
went to school, finished barbering school, what I mean? Because growing up in the projects, everybody wanted to sell drugs. I didn't want to sell drugs.
right,
I wanted to do something legitimate. So I became a barber,
mhm,
and I just wanted to be proud of myself, and I wanted my community to be proud of me.
right, right. For some people who don't know about the culture of barbershops, why are barbershops important, especially in black neighborhoods?
Okay, in the black neighborhood, you know, it just depends on where you grow up. But if you grow up in a bad environment, then what you want to do is go to a barbershop because see, especially for male figures,
Hmm.
especially for male figures.
Hmm.
Because if you're a young man growing up and you don't really have direction, so to speak, especially if you come from a single parent home, you talk to a lot of men in the barbershop.
Right,
And the men there, you have every type of man. You know what I'm saying? You have some older, younger, and everything. So they can teach you a lot of life lessons,
right.
and you meet every walk of life. You meet
Hmm.
educators, you meet athletes, you meet musicians, you meet pastors, you meet everybody.
Right,
So you get a melting pot of information, you get a melting pot of networking, and it helps, so to speak, raise you up as a young man through going to the barbershop.
right, right.
And
That's
that's
awesome.
very important because us young black males need someone to look to for direction. And the
Mhm.
barbershop was direction for me because that's what got me started. So when I in turn became a barber, the same knowledge given to me, I passed it on to the next, and the next generation will do the same. So I feel like that's the importance of the barbershop. It's like the black man's, what we want to call it, getaway, so to
Right,
speak.
right, right,
You know,
right.
it's like we can talk about work, we can talk about sports, we
Mhm.
can talk about everything. We don't talk about politics and religion.
Right, right,
You know
right.
what I mean? But just the things that men talk about.
Mhm, mhm.
And when you listen to the different point of views and the different takes on things, like I said, it allows you to grow mentally and learn more about life and the importance of black men coming together and not being against each other. And I
Right.
think that's the importance of black barbershop in the
That's
neighborhood.
awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, you recently released your hit song Tennessee. Tell us about Tennessee and what inspired that song.
Okay. So I was talking to a producer named Alazae,
Mhm.
and
We
he had
actually
said
had him on our show. ZaeSkee Alazae, we had him on our show. That's
cool
awesome
people,
that you.
man. Good people. And shout out to Zay. What up, Chicago? But the thing is, like, so he sent me some tracks, and this was
Mhm.
kind of funny. So he had like 10 tracks he had sent me, check them out or whatever. But the particular track of the song Tennessee, I heard the track and it was so different.
Mhm.
And so this is the way it came along. So I got the track. I didn't know what to do with it at first because it sounds different. It's melodic or whatever. So I just sat back, kept listening to it, listening to it. And I'm thinking about all I can think about is this. I live in Tennessee, but I've never heard anybody actually talk about Tennessee because most rappers from Tennessee in Atlanta, Florida, Texas, they're everywhere else. But
Right.
I just was trying to think of a song about kicking it in Tennessee,
Mhm.
what Tennessee embodies, the different things, like, from, we'll just say, like Dollywood, the colleges, um, the restaurants that everybody knows, like you come into the city. And
Right.
then also, I thought about, I was like, so what are the major cities in Clarksville? I mean, not Clarksville, but Tennessee, so, you know what I'm saying? And I just came up with that. So I was like, okay, Memphis, Nashville, Clarksville, all the other cities. And it
Right.
kind of came together like that. Everything that embodies Tennessee, from the Tennessee Titans, just the colleges and everything. And
Mhm.
then the song, it just came to me, and before you know it, I had it finished. Sent it back to Zay,
Mhm.
see if he
How long?
liked it.
How long did it take you to get that together?
To actually write it,
Mhm.
probably 15 minutes, man, because
Wow.
I said on the track, like I let it sit and I kept listening to it,
Mhm.
trying to see how I was going to come on the track. But I was like, this is really different. So I'm going to have to come like a little different with this one.
Mhm.
And so I just kept listening. And then, like I said, once I figured out which route I wanted to go, like I told you, embodying the things in Tennessee, it came to me 15 minutes. I had it knocked out in my head, went to the studio, you know. What's up, Eddie B? That's the studio I go to. It's a guy named Eddie B. He does all the arrangements. And so, yeah, man, we did it and sent it back to Zay. And Zay was like, hey, man, that's a hot track, bro. He said, you came with it. He was like, yo, the way you came on it, he was like, man, it's different.
Mhm.
And I was like, I appreciate that. And, from that point, here we are.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Um, Talk to us about your writing process. What do you hear? Does it take the beat to know what your lyrics are going to be, or do you come up with your
Here,
lyrics first and then get the beat?
both, both.
Both.
It's weird with me. Like, I'm like, how they talk about Biggie and all those guys that write inside their head and they just go in the studio. I'm one of those type of guys, but I write it down because I literally hear everything in my head, like
Mm-hmm.
everything. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Like as a producer too, I can hear the music, I can hear the lyrics, and I can hear the chorus all at one time. So I have to get it out.
Right.
But as far as when it came to me and Zay, I didn't know which direction I wanted to go to because the music was so different. It's kind of different from the type of music I make as a producer. So I
Right.
was listening to it and I was like, what can I do to make it snap a little bit, you know? And I just sat back and then the words started coming. Once they start coming, I don't stop. I just go and then once I get it, I go over it a couple of times to see if it meshes with the music and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I try to think of the chorus to go along with it because it's important. Like when we came up, like think about this, like hip hop. If you said Chevrolet, I got to talk about everything that embodies the Chevrolet.
Right.
See,
Right.
nowadays you got people that make songs. It might be, the name of the song is Ice Cream, and they talking about something else.
Right.
We have to stay on point with what you were talking about. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
your lyrics correspond with the actual title of the
Right.
song.
Right.
So that was important. So yeah, but that's how I do it, man. My process, it just comes mostly as a producer. Like I said, everything comes inside of my head, and I just put it down. But sometimes you have to actually sit, listen to the beat, and then you try to ride the beat. And that's what Zay kept saying. He was like, I like the way you rolled that beat. He said, because you picked the one beat that I said you have to be really good to do that on that
Right.
beat. Because he was like,
Right.
he said, I didn't think anybody would pick that one. He said, but you picked that one. So you got to be a pretty good artist.
Right. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
What do you hope your song Tennessee and other songs that you come up with, how do you hope they affect your community and the world?
Okay. Okay. Let's go back then. Okay. It's kind of what I was telling you about the Black Barbershop.
Hmm.
I'm a part of it. I'm a part of the community.
Hmm.
So everybody knows me. I'm a homeboy.
Hmm.
Everybody's seen my struggles. I'm not one of those fake people. I'm a real person.
Right.
So if you see my struggles, if you see me working constantly, trying to do better and be better, I want to be an inspiration to those that I grew up around to try to do better. So as
Right.
far as my music, I'm making music to inspire people to live their dreams. I was a
Hmm.
barber to inspire people to live their dreams. Meaning, if I laid the song Tennessee, and let's say it goes major, major, then you get to see my life and you get to see how people live in Tennessee.
Right.
You know, that's what I saw. That
Hmm.
was my vision in the song. I want you to see how I live in Tennessee and see people. You know how people have a misconception of what they think something is like, but you have to
Right.
actually be there to understand what it's like. Because you got your countryside
Hmm.
where you see the guys with the tractors and all the grass and this and this and this, and then you got
Right.
your hood side where you see the guys with the Chevrolets, the big wheels,
Hmm.
it's more than one facet to
Right.
Tennessee. There's so
Hmm.
many sides to it. But most people, when you see Tennessee, you only think of country music. There's so
Right.
many genres of music here. There's so many different lifestyles here. It's so much, but you have to be here to actually understand and see what's going on.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
What do you have coming up next? What's your future plans? What can
Okay.
people
Well,
expect?
what we're trying to do is, at the moment, we're gonna push the single for a while, kind of
Hmm.
get people used to what's going on. And like I said, it's on all the streaming platforms. And then later, I think around spring, we're gonna shoot a major video in Nashville, Tennessee, and Clarksville, Tennessee,
Okay.
and hope for the best. Because I think by the time we get to the video, I think it's gonna be that. That's gonna be it. That's gonna
Right.
get us all the way there, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What advice do you have to people who want to enter the music genre, who want to pursue rapping or becoming a
Okay.
musician?
It's a lot of hard work. it's gonna take everything from you because you got to put in a lot of work just to be seen and all this. I do it. I don't do it to so-called showcase. I do it to inspire. I just want people to see you can do something if you put your mind to it. That's the main reason I got into anything that I do, is to inspire people that look like me, just to show you if you have a dream and it's something that you want to do, put forth the effort, believe in God,
Right.
and try to make it happen. You got to step out there on faith sometimes, even though you can't see it.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Tell us where you got the name Phantom from.
So I was trying to think of a name, a stage name, and I was trying to think of something different. Okay, so basically the Phantom is like, you know I'm there, but you can't see me. You feel my presence, but you actually can't see me. That was the whole thing behind Phantom.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
You feel me, but you can't see me. It's
Right.
like being the most known unknown type of guy.
How can people get in contact with you if they want to follow you online? What websites or stream?
My song, the song Tennessee is on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music. It's on Pandora. It's on YouTube. So, you know, any streaming outlet, you can pretty much find the song Tennessee. And like I said, around spring, we'll be shooting a video and dropping my new album called The GOAT.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. We're actually going to play your song at the end of this show so people who are listening can hear it and go look for it.
Awesome.
Anything else you'd like to say? We got a few minutes left.
Yeah. I just like to say something very simple to all my young men and young women out there. It's okay to dream. No matter what your situation is, it's okay to dream. You know, God gave us all talents. It's how you use it. It's how you use your talent. Just believe in yourself. Always put God first. And you never know. Step out on faith sometime. Never look back. Look forward.
Right.
Past is the past. But we all have a future.
That's awesome. Thank you, Phantom. I really appreciate it. You're always welcome to be back on here again. Just let me know.
I thank you. I thank you for the opportunity.
My pleasure. My pleasure. All right. Thank you to our sponsors, Baskerville Funeral Home and R&R Custom Wheels and Tires Express. Don't go anywhere. We're getting ready to play Phantom's song Tennessee right after this broadcast.
Okay.
So you wanna just ride with us? Wanna jump inside with us? Wanna feel the pride with us? Tennessee coincide with us? Jump it off with the cars. See a lot of superstars. Might go downtown, hit a lot of country bars. Might wear a big hat, belt buckle about that. Ride down through the strip, Riverside, take a dip. Man, what you drinking on? Jack, what I'm baking on. Tennessee, where I'm from, homie, we gon' bring it home. Leave you with no doubt. A lot of people know what we bout. Country living, go hard. Represent that dirty south. Hot like fish grease. Stay woke, don't sleep. A lot of Tennessee fun. Man, don't catch cold feet. What about M-Town? What about Cashville? What about Chad? What about Clarksville? What about M-Town? What about Cashville? What about Chad? What about Knoxville? What about M-Town? What about Cashville? What about Chad? What about Clarksville? What about M-Town? What about Cashville? What about Chad? What about Knoxville? Tennessee lay back, ride through in a Maybach. Y'all talking that old, man, we call y'all 8-track. California, Hollywood, Tennessee, Dollywood. If you really wanna go deep, we can take it to the hood. Top factor, horse or tractor, or that don't. We'll give you what you asked for. So exciting, Tennessee Titan. Listen with the scared talk. Man, y'all look frightened. Money flow everywhere. Party like I don't care. Rockstar lifestyle. Now watch all the people stir. Big city, bright lights. Small town, slow pace. Country folk are so proud and do it with a straight face. What about M-Town? What about Clarksville? What about Chad? What about Clarksville? What about M-Town? What about Clarksville? What about Chad? What about Knoxville? What about M-Town? What about Clarksville? What about Chad? What about Clarksville? What about M-Town? What about Clarksville? What about Chad? What about Knoxville?